So my new project involves a man's shirt, which is very nice. It's a good make, and I want to take off this collar. So I'm in the process of unpicking it from this band, taking this part off so it'll look a bit more like a granddad style shirt. And I may incorporate some more pretty fabric on to make it a little bit more flowery, as well as just a check shirt. So I'll show you the process. So I'm going to, this part and this part, I'm going to unpick at that seam, the picker in this bit all the way around, and then we'll have that bit taken off. We'll have to unpick the back bit as well, and then we'll just have this section. I'll show you this in a bit. And I've taken the collar off, and you'll see that I've unpicked that and I've left part of the collar on, because it's obviously got two parts, this part and then the part that folds over. Taken that bit off, and we've got an open gap now. I've measured the collar length, and I'm going to do channels of this fabric 3 times the length, sew them together, sew them in half, gather all that so that I'll make a lovely gathered collar that should fit on top of there and stick up and look quite nice. And I might do something on the bottom, I'll see, or I might do something on the sleeves. We'll see what we think, but that's my thoughts up to now. And I've done a little plan here of what to kind of do with the shirt. So that's the shirt, thinking about cutting off the first part of the collar, and then leave either the sleeves long or cut them off, and I could add ruffles around the edges if I cut it off, and then cut some of the bottom section off to make it shorter, so I've got a little bit more of that. And I could hem that as well, or I could use this fabric and hem it. Not decided yet, but and also I've thought about maybe a ruffle all the way and bringing it down with short sleeves with a ruffle. So that's my plans at the minute. That's stage plans, so come along with me and see how it works out. On a pillowcase I have beautiful edging, like a little frill, and I'm thinking I'm going to use that on the collar. So I've unpicked the collar, and what I'm going to do is make sure it's all unpicked along the seam. I think I've actually got a little bit of area here that's not fully done, but I'm going to just finish unpicking that. And then using the edge of a pillowcase, I've cut the middle out. I'm going to put this in the collar gap so that this lovely fringing on the edge will stick up like so and be seen just on the very edge. I think that will make a really nice decorative edging to the collar and coordinate nicely. Or I'll use this one, which might be more dramatic. I don't know now, because that can just be ruched up as well and put along the collar. So I'm going to decide what to do. I think with this being all little tiny pleats, I think this would be quite nice on the neckline. I think I'll give this a go, yeah. And then I might make another one with the red. So I'm going to cut it off below the corner of the pillowcase on one side, and then I will fit the edge inside so that we've got a nice neat edge that will stick up and go all along the collar until I get to the other end, and then we'll sew it all up, and then we'll see what else we can embellish on here as well. So open up your collar seam, as I said, and then if you haven't got a pillowcase that you're upcycling, have a look out for a pillowcase, you know, in the charity shop, or if you've got one that is a little bit stained in the middle section but it's got a frill on the outside edge, cut it off and use this frill on something else. It'll be a lovely trim. So I'll get on with this and I'll show you when it's done. had trouble with my sewing machine this morning. It was only a tension problem, but I've managed to resolve it, thank goodness. But it is annoying when the tension goes and then all your sewing's all messed up, isn't it? Let's get this neatly opened up. Be very careful when you do this. Don't rush it, because you don't want to make a hole in this, otherwise that's it. It could be a mess and you won't be able to complete the project. So we've got it all open now. So I'm going to try and right at the end fit as much of that inside as possible, so I get the edge correct sticking up. It might be that I've got to cut some more off here, I think. We don't want it all bulky, of course, either, do we? But this will make it very easy. Sure all the raw edges are down. Side, and then just pin it all a little bit lower on each side so it's even. So I'm going to just start pinning all that shortly, and I'll come back and show you in a moment what it's like. Right, so this is how it's looking. It's going to be, when you fasten it there, it'll be a real pretty sort of stand-up collar, like so, and it'll be fitted inside the original first part of the collar, because I'll turn that, the actual part of the collar that turns over is what I cut off, isn't it? But I think that's quite nice. So I'm going to sew this first. So let's get on with that very, very slowly and very carefully, because it's quite bulky right at the end where I've had to turn it over so that we get a nice even finish, which is really good. But I'm going to have a go slowly and hopefully it will work. Right, we managed it. It's worked, thankfully, and it's come out lovely and very even, and it looks lovely. So it was quite difficult, but I did it very slowly. I put the tension on quite low, well 3 basically, and it works, so that's great. Now let's see what we can do with the rest of the frills. With it being a man shirt, it will button up a different way, won't it? And I was thinking, if we could utilise, so I'm just putting the shirt up now, if we can utilise the frill to cover the fact that the buttons and the placket is a different way, that would be quite good. So obviously that's that way, but if we were to try and sew the frill over maybe the buttons somehow on the outer edge so it faces the opposite way, it would look like, because you wouldn't be able to see where the placket was and it would conceal the buttons, it would look like a lady's blouse then. So we could take the edge of the shirt and just basically sew this down and then fold it back on itself and top stitch it. I'm calling it a blouse now, see, because it's not a shirt anymore. So this is the man's shirt, isn't it? Okay, and the buttons are going that way. Okay, now we would have it the opposite way. So if I was to put that on the edge of the shirt, raw sides this way, just sew it down somehow, and then turn it over and then top stitch it down, you would just see the frill and it would go the way that a woman's shirt would be, and you could just button it up anyway, and the buttons would be underneath and the frill would be just showing. If we could do that, that would be nice and decorative down the middle of it, and it would cover up where the buttons are, so that could be good. Or I could just ignore the fact that it's the wrong way, because it doesn't really bother me, and put these all the way around the bottom edge. If I've got enough, which I don't know if I have, but we'll certainly do the frill at the bottom, you know, from the top through down the middle. Could do that with it. And I could cut the sleeves down shorter and put some ruching on the bottom of that. But these are quite nice, the sleeves on the bottom. Quite like the sleeves as it is, because it's a slightly different check. So I thought I might keep it long, the sleeves, because they are quite nice and long anyway. Put that ruching round the bottom as well. If I've got enough, I could do that, couldn't I? Because that would soften it up as well. Yeah. Don't know. When I'm upcycling things, I sort of do it as I go along and see if it's necessary to do any more. That certainly has made it lovely as it is round the neck. I'm very happy with that. Right, so what I've done is I've got the cuffs now and I've put the ruching around. So we're going to go just where the line of the sleeve ends. I'm going to get the ruche in to join it onto that edge there, and then it goes all the way around the cuff like so, and then up to where the buttons are. Okay, and I've just turned it underneath and I'm going to stitch it all, and that way we'll probably have to cut through the buttonhole again on the other side. I'm going to sew it carefully down now and try to match it and measure the square so it's correct, and then we're going to sew this onto the sleeve now, and then hopefully it should be very, very decorative, the shirt, and I'll show you when it's done. So that's an upcycled men's shirt to be very feminine ladies shirt using just the edges of a pillowcase. Just going to sew it all together now. Very, very carefully. You might want to do a zigzag as well as a top stitch over the edge just to tighten it all down, because it's quite obviously weighty. Right, nearly complete. I've just thought I've got this beautiful little bit of heart edging, a bit like lacy, all in hearts, and that would go so lovely down the front placket. And if I do it the opposite way to where the shirt is being buttoned up, then it'll give the illusion that it's a lady's shirt anyway. And I think that on the edge will finish it off. So I'm going to just sew that on now, and then I will reveal it to you, how it looks on. And I hope you agree it'll turned out nicely. Please like and subscribe my channel. Really helps. YouTube then suggests it to other people, and hopefully then I might get a few subscribers. Got all the little birds fledging now at the moment. We've had some a starling in the garden for about half a day. Obviously came out of its nest a little bit too early. I was watching it constantly on and off all day yesterday, and then I just happened to go and have some an evening meal. I was away for about 20 minutes, and then all of a sudden it had gone. So I'm hoping it found its wings and it flew off. I do hope it's all happy somewhere now and safe and everything. It is naughty, it's sliding around this. Just be very slow and careful when I sew this. Right friends, well this is the big reveal. I hope you think it's lovely. I just popped it on over this big baggy skirt and my top, So I've got a thick sort of t-shirt, jersey jumper kind of thing on, so slightly puckering there, but it doesn't normally. So here we go. So I love this part. This bit is great because it conceals the buttons and it looks like it's a lady's blouse. We've got a lovely shaped and frilly neck. Trying to show you around it. Lovely sleeves and cuffs. It makes it look really, really lovely. The sleeves, I love how they sort of, you know, come up at the side as well, and then all the way around. I think that looks lovely. So that's that part, and then the neckline just stands up really nicely. And then this bit here just finishes it all off, I think. So yeah, I'm really pleased with it.